Happy New Year and welcome to episode 9 of the Apocalyptic Knitter podcast. I'm Naomi and I come to you from a very muddy Leeds in West Yorkshire, where I live with my husband, my young son and my cat, who one day I will introduce because no doubt she'll be in the living room one day when I record. But there we go. How are you today? I hope you're not too hungover. No, I hope you had a good New Year's Eve celebration, whatever you did. I popped in to a party last night, hosted by my friend. It was a 90s fancy dress theme party. It was really, really good fun. But yeah, I just can't seem to have the party stamina at the moment. I'm not drinking alcohol really at the moment. But yeah, I'm just a real home person at the minute. But there we go. I don't know if it's just a fatigue thing or not. But anyway, I'm digressing as I always do. A fun fact, New Year's Day is one of my most favourite days of the year. Don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the fresh start. And for me, I get the whole don't put pressure on yourself and New Year's resolution, and it's not that. I get quite motivated by not targets but like structures and new things and new routines, and to me it's like a nice fresh start, and I like to set myself little goals, and I always have a bit of a spring clean, and I always start off the day with a really good walk. It just sets me in a good mood. So, but yeah, I find myself more, I say just fired up, but positively. Does anyone else feel that? Anyway, so yes, Happy New Year to you. I've had a really lovely but muddy walk. Just intended to do an hour and it ended up being 2 because I got a bit lost. But it was just really nice, and although it was extremely muddy, it didn't rain for a couple of hours because there's just so much rain at the minute, it's ridiculous. And it was just really nice blue sky, nice and bright. So there we go. I'm going to see how long I can record for before my phone runs out of battery. So I've got some notes that I did before, so I'll work through them and we'll see how we get on. Being a bit of a self-confessed nerd, I have jotted down some statistics for my knitting, which I'm sure other knitters do something similar. Before I go into that, I noticed I have had a little flurry of new subscribers over the last few weeks, which is lovely to see. So welcome to my little space here, where is mainly a knitting and crochet related podcast. I think I'll go into it in more detail in one of my previous episodes. I am a fan of all things apocalyptic. I'm not like a survivalist kind of thing or anything like that. So it comes from a lot of my upbringing, and the beliefs that I put on me at the time has just kind of left me with a fear of the end of the world, as they say. But a lot of it is tongue-in-cheek, but yeah, fascinated with all kinds of the different scenarios that there is, and I have a stash that does feel like it could last me into the apocalyptic years, quite frankly. So I like to have a chat if there's any films or TV series that is got my interest with that. And another thing which is deep in my core is I do like to talk about budgeting and money saving ideas and anything. If I feel like the universe is better for knowing it, even if it helps one person, I will chirp my little way and mention it on the podcast, because if it can only help somebody, then I'm all for it. So, some knitting stats. I wanted 2023 to reduce my stash, and technically I have by 300 grams. So I did a big full stock take a couple of days ago because I was poorly. I come back after seeing all the relatives and everything, and after very busy build up at work, when I finally sit and stop and relax, that is when I get ill. So I didn't want to sit and sulk and go to bed with it, so I just took it very gently, did some knitting and did a stock take. So my stash is currently at 17.2 kilos. I'll go into it a little bit later on. I'm not buying wool. I'm not buying wool at the moment. I do have plans to go to Edinburgh in April with some friends, but I want 2024 to be a year where I really use my stash. I think having that stock take really did kind of bring home all this beautiful wool that I already have. And as much as I'd love to support all the dyers every single month, I financially can't afford to do that. But I will sing my little heart out and tag them in every project page that I do on Ravelry, share it on Instagram and all stuff like that. So I also finished on 33 finished objects. So breaking it down, there was 16 pairs of socks, 5 shawls or cowls, 5 jumpers, 2 headbands, 2 baby hats, and a hat for an urn, which I've never been asked to knit before, but I will literally knit anything. I'm carrying over 5 whips into 2024. So 3 of them are some really long standing blankets, some long-term blankets, one of which is over a decade old that I started it, and 2 pairs of socks, and 1 pair is literally, I've got like 5 rows to do, but I thought no, it'll be a nice little a good start to 2024. What are my knitting goals for this year? I want to finish one of those blankets. I've got sweater quantities for 3 in my stash, 3 jumpers that I can make for myself. And I'd also like to be in a position that I'm not on this relentless to-do list of other people. I kind of want to finish what I've promised, and then any stuff that's added on is stuff that I actually want to knit for myself. Because one of my big goals that I want to do this year is I want to do a Stephen West knit along. Whenever he comes on and he does it, I'm not in a position to either I don't have the headspace, or I've got that much stuff on the needles anyway, and then I'm full of regret and all the rest of it afterwards. So yeah, I want to do a Stephen West knit along when he does them, because they're just absolutely fabulous, and they're great for picking up single skeins, or if you want to do like a last year when he did the gradient one. So that's what I want to do. I wanted to show you some bits and pieces that I kind of came across again. So upcoming projects. I have skipped a bit actually. I did have a little trip out with my friend Sammy. We went to Black Sheep Wools. I didn't go with the intention of buying wool. I went with the intention of getting a couple of notions like needles and a cable and a crochet hook. One of the crochet hooks that I've been using is the metal ones that hurt my hand. So I kind of wanted that one that was a bit more, you know, the brown ones with the like dark brown middle. I find them really quite comfortable and they're quite reasonable price. I think they're about £3 or something. I cannot remember the make of it. I'll have to put in the comments. There we go. So I bought a few of these on my list is a white scarf. And do you know what? It's from a friend and it's a good job that I love her because I can't frankly think of anything more boring to knit than a plain white scarf. So I've got, this is, can't pronounce it, sheeps, called Chunky Monkey, which is actually an Aran weight, which confused me because I thought it would be chunky. And I thought it feels nice, nice and soft. I've got 4 balls of this and I think I'm just gonna do like a fisherman's rib type of a pattern. And I know that if I just do it all in one go, it'll bore me to tears. So I'm literally just gonna do every so often, just do it an odd evening of it. And then another request, which I don't mind doing this because the other one that I did, literally, it was done in a week, is a love note sweater. And I got some fuzz. So this, I've took a bit of a risk because the pattern calls for like a 4-ply like mohair fuzz. And this is technically double knitting fuzz. So I might have to swatch it to see how much of a difference it makes. But I'm gonna pair it with these from Stash. So this is from Lockwood Fibre and it's called Serene. And it's very, very pink tonals with lots of little dashes and speckles, which is really nice. You see like a nice little patch there. So the person who I'm making it for said like, oh yeah, pink, anything Barbie colour. So I'm hoping that's kind of pink enough. And I'm quite happy using this up because I love the skeins, but then I got the skeins and I'm thinking, I can't see me wearing a garment like that colour on myself, but I'll enjoy knitting it. So I'm quite happy that it's going to be made into something really nice that somebody will enjoy. I've just seen that cute little splurge of purple there. So that's that one. And I also come across this, which I was talking about the other day. So I pulled this out because I've got plans for this. And it is a fade braid. And I am assuming I've not took it apart yet because I don't want to unravel it. But it looks like a hair plait, but I'm assuming it's like a sock blank that's all kind of twisted up, but I don't know how it braids together, or is it knotted, or... So when I come to do that one, I shall let you know. This is from quite some old stash. I believe that I got this at Edinburgh Yarn Festival, and it was before lockdown. I think it was about 2019, and it could have even been older. It could have even been 2017, 2018. But I really like those colours. So I've got plans for that one. I also come across some remnants of Minecraft Sweeper. What's it called? Oh, it's Creeper by Minecraft Creeper. Got there eventually. This is by Gem Snuggly Stars. I bought a sock set when my son was heavily into Minecraft, and I remember that I had some little leftovers, and I'm gonna make a little wristband for my cousin's son who equally loves Minecraft. So I thought that's a good use for it, because I've not got enough to make a pair of socks, and I didn't really want to commit to doing another pair of socks, so I thought a little wristband, a little sweatband, I can do that. I also, what did I do? I've also brought out some remnants of DK. As you recall, I did a baby hat in this grey and a baby hat in this pink. So I'm going to do another baby hat using up all the oddments. I'm hoping to cast that on tonight, if I'm in the mood for casting on. Anyway, I promised myself that I would do some me knitting over Christmas, and I did actually cast on a pair of socks. I do not have them to hand, and if I get up and stand up, you'll then discover that I'm also wearing my pyjama bottoms, so I will refrain from doing that. Well, I have just been on a really long walk and got my trousers muddy, so there we go. But I casted on a pair of socks from a skein of wool which I bought in Yarndale just in September, and I fell in love with the skein. It's really like hot pink and black, and it's like dyed half and half in blocks, so it's like a really nice micro stripe. I normally do toe up, fish lips kiss heel, and then cast off, but this time I'm gonna see if I can remind myself how to do a heel flap and gusset sock, because I just want to see if it fits me better. I want like a more of a secure fit around the ankle. So I've done that. I've knitted up the leg, and I've done the slip one, knit one, slip one, knit one, and I've picked up all the stitches round, and I'm just about to do the decreases on. So I may do that tonight. But what I did pick up, do you know have projects that you put down for months and months and months because you have a blocker, what I call a little mental blocker, and there's a couple of little tasks that you need to do, and you can't get your head past those tasks, so it just sits and doesn't do anything. Last year I had a really beautiful advent calendar from Spectrum Fibre, and I got up to this speckledy colour here, and for some reason I do not even understand myself, I'd knitted them on straight needles. So there's two blockers. I needed to transfer it from the straight needles onto a cable, and then I also needed to wind up the next mini skein, and because of that I didn't touch it for about 8 months. So I think when we come back on the 27th, when I was working through all my things, I picked it up and I ended up winding the next 3 or 4 mini skeins. I sat down and I got all the ones out that I wanted to do, because this is the Quadrophenia blanket by Bakery Bears. It's a bit scrunched up, and the pattern is from 24 times 20 grams mini skeins. Now, I've done them you do like 4 triangles, 4 quadrants, and then you flat seam them together. It's a paid for pattern, so I don't want to kind of go into too much. But Bryony has done the pattern for 24 mini skeins, and I'm using 28. The advent calendar that I had was just for 12 mini skeins, and those colours are majority pink, and then the other ones kind of fade from a pink into a purple, so I'm going to do the other purple, all those together. And then I've got a load of mini skeins that are very kind of pastel-y colours that I'm going to use those up on another quadrant. And then I found a bunch of mini skeins that are all pale pastel-y blues, and they're going to be another one. So it's going to be like a very pale pastel-y but bright neons, kind of a theme of a blanket. Don't quite know how big it's going to be, if mine's going to be a bit bigger. And then I'm going to, when it's all sewn up together, I'm going to see if it needs a border or not. But I'm just going to play that as it goes. So I picked it back up. I'm very proud of myself, from that corally speckly one. And I've already done one. And I'm almost done the second ball there. So I'm quite happy with that. The only thing I'm not happy about is I had the other 2 balls of wool wound up ready, and I've lost one this morning. I was on one this morning, as I am every New Year's Day, and took all the Christmas decorations down, packed them all away. This is where my ADHD hyperfocus comes into play. Took everything down, hoovered up, mopped up, and then I took the sofas out to give them a clean, because it gets all dusty underneath it all. So I was really like on a mission, and then when I packed everything up, I thought I'm one missing. Do not know where it is. I'm sure it will turn up. If not, worst case scenario, if it's lost, I'll either put that particular quadrant on, because it's the last colour, and put that on like a lifeline, one of them plasticky tubes, and then start the next quadrant, and then through the course of the year, as these things just turn up, hopefully I can just cast it back on. So I think that is me for knitting. I know it's been a bit of a wonky episode, really. Gonna finish those socks and that baby hat, and I think what I wanted to do in January to kind of regroup myself was not get carried away with casting on lots of things. I wanted to really give those 3 blankets some love, because each blanket is different. One is a crocheted, scrappy granny square, just round and round and round, lots and lots of bits. And I picked up the hook from the shop for that one. the quadrophenia one, I like that. I like it when you have, if I know how much percentage I've done on the blanket or on a project, I find that really motivational. So I'm thinking, if I've got 28 mini skeins, I'm thinking I've used up 6 now, I can use up 7 now. I like that as that kind of a definitive goal. And then the other blanket I've got is it's when all the mitered square blankets were like in the rage. As I say, it was 10 years ago. I casted it on February 2011 or 2012. I couldn't even get it done for its 10-year anniversary. But it's I think the pattern called for doing like 20 about yay big squares, and I don't like things that are too fiddly, so I ended up quadrupling it. So I cast 53 stitches and then a centre stitch and then another 53, and that big mega square takes about 17 grams, which it takes about 2 evenings. It seems a lot, but then all of a sudden, if you do 2 or 3 squares, you think, oh, I've done a fair bit. I've done about 2/3. It's for our Super King bed. I've done about 2/3 of it. So that is that. And then I think it just kind of mentally eases me into the year. I'm aware I've got another module starting, I think towards the end of January. I've got a pre-e-learning course I've got to do on the 16th of Jan. And then the 2 study days are the end of January. So I want to just kind of not overface myself with stuff and just keep things nice and easy. I find that's when my creative ideas come to me, when I'm not as, yeah, you know what I mean. So that is all my knitting stuff, really. I'm quite happy with stuff like that. I think if I get the urge to cast something on, I'm going to cast on the Love Note. The reason being is it's a nice speedy knit. If you've ever done it, you'll know what I mean, but if you haven't, it is a worthwhile knit. It's like 6mm needles, you got the lace weight yoke, and then once you've done that, it's just stocking that, and it's just really lovely. So if I feel like I'm getting a bit too bored with the blankets, I'll cast that on. And then, so a little bit of money talk. So being as open as I can be with this being the internet, let me have a little sip. I'm on the hot chocolate already. It's only what, 6 o'clock at night. I'm on the cocoa. As hundreds of thousands of people are very in the same similar position to us, our mortgage is up for renewal at the end of this year, and when we went into the current mortgage deal that we're on, it was when all the interest rates were low. So obviously we are aware that when December comes, our mortgage payments are gonna increase quite significantly. So our goal this year is to build up a sinking fund. So we've worked out we should be able to pay the payments fine, which we're very fortunate, but it will make things tight. So we're building up a bit of a rainy day fund for if we'll get appliances that might break down, or the car has a really expensive MOT, things like that. So I don't think we are having a family holiday this year, although I keep telling myself if I save up really, really extra hard, you never know, might do a little weekend trip to Devon, but I'll have to see how things go. So what I've done is I've done myself a 12-month budget plan. Literally every bill that's going to be coming up, like house insurance, car insurance, MOTs, clothing, anything, I've kind of said this is the amount that it usually is and this is how much I need to save up per week. I say per week because the way my brain works, if I have a few months where there isn't any extra bills, I go, oh wow, got lots of spare money here. But then you'll have a few months where all the bills will come in once, and then that's where I get into trouble. So I kind of want to put, if I want to spread it across the year and just put, right, £10 a week aside for that one, I say putting a tenner a week now towards next Christmas, and then it's all paid for then. So these are little things. I have probably stretched myself a bit too much with what I believe I can save, but that's just me all over. A couple of fun games. I don't know if you want to join me. I have, gonna see if I can, I'm gonna take you with me so you can't see my pyjama bottoms. Get off the couch. There's two things that I want to show you here. And I got a very nice tin, and it's a money box. It contained those delicious chocolate coins. Still smells of chocolate. So for this one, and it's quite a substantial box, I'm gonna, any £2 coins that I come across in my purse over the course of the year, I'm gonna stick it in here. Because sometimes those little coins you can't, I kind of want to like siphon away little things that I don't feel like I'm going to miss. And then I got this inspiration from, I follow a few YouTube channels on cash budgeting, and oh my goodness me, I cannot remember the lady's name. I'll have to just put it in the notes. Well, there's two that I follow. One is my friend who is She Can Budget. She is the lady who helped me get set up last summer, and it's really kind of helped. I managed for the first time in a few years to pay for Christmas gifts and everything without touching the credit card, which is really good for me. So yeah, I want to kind of continue that going forward. Now this Christmas present was for my husband, but I think we can all agree that I should get the tin. So yeah, there's some biscuits in there, but they're all knitted hats. How cute is that? So this other YouTube channel, this lady had done this year-long goal where she'd cut little wallets from her old Christmas cards. So you know, normally you get them, some people might cut them up into gift tags, so you're kind of reusing. So she did them into little money wallets. So like you might get like a standard A5 card, and she managed to kind of do like 3 out of them, like enough to kind of put a note in. And every single week she would put in if she had any spare money. I'll come back to the word spare in a minute. And then she would like seal it up and put it away. And then you kind of forget about it. I thought that I'd be going into it to kind of borrow back 5 weeks later, as you do. But there's something about putting it away that it is out of sight, out of mind for me. And she said that she puts one away for 52 weeks, and then she just did a little quick short video where she opened them all, and she said sometimes it was just the bare minimum, like £5, because that was all she could afford that week. But sometimes if she had like a really good one, she was able to put £20 in that week. And I thought it was really, really good. I'm going to try that myself. If I want to put something in every little week, and even if it is £1 or something, even if it was £1 a week, that's still 50 quid or something else that might get you a meal out as a treat at the end of the year, or as I say, it's something. So that is what I'm going to do this year. So I just have one task that we need to do really, and that's to finish eating the biscuits inside the tin. I know it's a very, very difficult job, but alas, somebody has to do it. So anyway, that is me. I'm surprised my phone battery has lasted this long, and I hope you've enjoyed listening to my waffle. I think I'm going to try and see if I can do it once a week, once every 2 weeks. But yeah, next time I will definitely have some more knitting to show you. This is probably a bit more of a roundup. The thumbnail that I'm going to put on, my husband is got a bit of a love affair going on with ChatGPT, and he made me this amazing calendar inspired by this podcast, which is the Apocalyptic Knitter, and every month on the calendar is a different apocalyptic setting, and he's done like a poem for each scenario, and it's just absolutely brilliant. So yeah, it is a bit of a tongue-in-cheek. Who doesn't want to knit zombies jumpers? Anyway, I hope it brings a smile. I'll remember to post it up every new month that we go into if you need a smile. Right, I'm going to shoot off. Lovely to speak to you all, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.